Economic capital of Cameroon, Douala. Good evening, Gwladys, Bomotonguina.
Bonsoir, Cynthia, Azanu. Bonsoir, mesdames, messieurs. La première partie de ce journal bilingue, c'est avec toi, Cynthia.
Ladies and gentlemen, to begin this newscast, Cameroon joins the international community to commemorate the World Day Against Human Trafficking. In Kumba, long week activities were done by Survivors Network Africa, a female-led non-profit making organization ahead of the anniversary. Our reporter Tamfu Sidwan reports from Kumba.
This was a week long, full of activities to commemorate 30th July 2022 as the fight against trafficking in persons persists.
We are out to create awareness with regards to 30th July, which is World Day Against Trafficking in Persons.
Volunteers from Survivors Network Africa, a female-led, non-for-profit organization, went to the street of Kumba, capital of Meme Division in the southwest region of Cameroon, to send out campaign messages against human trafficking. They visited motor parks, schools, churches, markets, and other humanitarian organizations to paste out posters carrying messages, all designed against human trafficking.
We are out putting up advocacy messages against human trafficking because that is who we are. Human trafficking is an illegal crime which occurs all over the world. It can occur within our communities and right in our homes.
The population of Meme Division and the Southwest as a whole was also sensitized through the local radio stations and TV stations to understand some of the aspects of human trafficking.
For example, we have child labor, we have labor exploitation, we have organ servitude where they remove their organs to sell.
Holding under the theme Use and Abuse of Technology, the Survivors Network Africa is bent on advising the population against the abusive use of technology, especially the social media, where aspects of human trafficking are communicated through well-coordinated means.
You cannot even imagine that you're going to be trafficked. Like the example you gave, most girls who leave Cameroon, for instance, to Lebanon, to Kuwait, to Thailand, to maybe to teach or to become house helps. But on getting there, your documents are being taken from you right at the airport. They are
confiscated.
Yes, right at the airport. But the initial idea was for you to go and become a teacher or a house help.
Most often, persons are trafficked by their close relatives and friends.
Human trafficking is real, human trafficking is existing, and anybody can be a trafficker. Your mother, your father, your friend, your brother, your sister, anybody, just anybody can be your trafficker. So we all should be on alert.
As the 30th July is commemorated, more actions are expected to continue in the fight against trafficking in persons.
And now the population of the Northwest region have been reassured that the construction works on the 52 kilometers Bamenda-Babaju Road is advancing. This was disclosed during a meeting in Bamenda chaired by Honorable Walang Richard Ebwa to evaluate the level of public investment projects in the Northwest region of the country. Charles Kebwa has details.
During the meeting to evaluate the level of public investment projects in the Northwest region, July 28, 2022, at the Minpat Conference Hall, Bamenda, this year about 500 projects were earmarked for the Northwest region, worth over 48.3 billions, with 10.2 billions to be tracked at the level of the Northwest. Northwest Regional Delegate of Planning and Regional Development disclosed 84 projects executed are already at 100%, 185 ongoing and 230 still to take off.
185 are ongoing, 230 still to take off the ground, giving us a percentage realization of 26.2.
Complaints with the execution of PIBs by contractors, the Regional Follow-Up Committee Chair, Honorable Walang Richard Edgard, described vigilance on control missions.
Give 200 million to a village and you don't execute it, that money will go back. But anything that is given, it will remain. It will not go. People will see Tobia will go, Cameroon will remain.
Prescribed bottom-to-top approach work in synergy, the region National Chair for the Follow-Up Committee for the Execution of Public Investment Projects for the Northwest, Honorable Walang Richard Ebwa, appealed for peace a chance towards projects.
If we give peace a chance, why should we not start from Matazan to Bamenda? We are begging our brothers that this road issue from Babaju to Bamenda is a developmental project.
Committee members reassured the population of the Northwest works on the 52 kilometers Bamenda-Babaju road is advancing.
Whosoever, because you will believe with me that this crisis is not only a militarized crisis. We need development. And if you look at the route that they are doing in Babaju, which some people will not even accept, some people are tamas, that if you even talk to them that the work has started, they will not believe.
With one of the construction companies tasked on the field since March 2022, Northwest Regional Delegate of Public Works reassured they will commit the contractor ensure Bamenda-Babaju Road passable during this rainy season, and when rain ceases, proper works on tarring will start. Awards were handed to some outstanding officials, a gift from Honorable Walang Richard to them for promoting development.
Session ordinaire du Conseil de communauté de Douala, Roger Bassandine était face à ses collaborateurs hier vendredi à la salle de fête d'Aqua. Quentin Etapé.
7 milliards de francs CFA pour la mise en place des régies et les constructions des routes dans la ville de Douala. C'est la conclusion d'un prochain accord d'un prêt bancaire. Le supermaire de la capitale économique l'a annoncé hier vendredi à la salle des fêtes d'Aqua, à l'occasion de la session ordinaire de l'évaluation à mi-parcours du niveau du budget d'exécution 2022 de la communauté urbaine de la ville éponyme.
Qui montre que les banques nous font confiance. Et avec ces 7 milliards, nous allons mettre en place la régie des routes et des constructions. Avec cette régie-là, les choses vont changer radicalement.
Le taux d'exécution du budget allant de la période de son vote jusqu'au 30 juin dernier s'élève à 61 milliards de francs CFA. Les réalisations sont multiples.
Il y a eu déjà des aménagements qui ont été faits du côté de Carrefour Agip vers l'université, c'est-à-dire le campus de l'ESSEC, et aussi vers Aqua Nord, où il y a eu un pavage de ces axes-là.
Un signe de progrès, mais la passation des marchés reste complexe en raison de la lenteur.
Nous avons fait des efforts en matière de recettes, nous avons mieux maîtrisé les dépenses. Le point faible que nous avons, c'est la passation des marchés, parce que nous avons pris de retard dans la passation des marchés de l'exercice 2022. Et ça va se répercuter en 2023. Pour le moment, les marchés que nous exécutons sont les marchés en réalité pour beaucoup de 2021. Nous allons essayer de rattraper cela. Nous avons demandé notamment à l'État de nous donner une deuxième commission de passation des marchés. Et je crois que cela pourrait être fait.
En attendant la réaction du gouvernement, l'amélioration de l'état des routes, le combat contre les inondations, la qualité de l'éclairage public, celle de la fluidité du trafic dans la ville de Douala sont des axes prioritaires qui méritent beaucoup d'attention pour le bonheur des populations qui y vivent.
Au regard des réalités que vivent les Camerounais au quotidien, l'on se pose la question de savoir si la venue d'Emmanuel Macron soulagera les populations. Marie-Rosine Gandouga dans ce reportage.
Le Cameroun vit des problèmes cruciaux comme l'inflation et la pénurie des produits pétroliers, sans oublier le taux de chômage qui s'accroît. La France, ne produisant ni le blé ni le pétrole pour exporter vers le Cameroun, en quoi cette visite du président français peut être bénéfique pour le pays de Paul Biya?
Le Camerounais, dans son essence, ne se retrouve pas à toujours reprocher, n'est-ce pas, ces relations-là. Vous voyez, avec la crise ukrainienne qui se passe aujourd'hui, le blé, ça vient en Ukraine. Et la France même est en mauvaise posture parce que la Russie a la mainmise sur tout ce qui concerne l'économie. Et on constate que la France est assez fragile pour nous venir en aide. Moi, je crois que la France peut s'adosser sur le Cameroun pour pouvoir dénouer n'est-ce pas, un certain nombre de conflits au niveau international avec la Russie, le Cameroun peut se positionner comme intermédiaire pour régler la crise qui se passe au niveau mondial actuellement en Ukraine.
Rappelons que la France est un partenaire historique du Cameroun, mais depuis des décennies, des relations entre ces deux États ont subi des fractures énormes. La preuve.
Le climat politique vis-à-vis de la France au Cameroun est très tendu. Les Camerounais ne conçoivent plus alors la France comme cette patrie, cette mère patrie-là. Vous savez, beaucoup d'eau a coulé sur le pont entre les relations africaines de la France et les chefs d'État aussi. Vous savez très bien que le cas du Mali nous parle, le cas du Burkina Faso, en tout cas tout ce qui s'est passé en Afrique occidentale ces dernières années nous parle.
Son dilatoire aucune, même les faits et gestes du président Paul Biya en disent tant. Et d'ailleurs, pour répondre à un journaliste français concernant la guerre ukrainienne, le chef de l'État a martelé que le Cameroun était un État souverain qui signe des accords avec plusieurs autres pays. Également, que dire du ping-pong entre le coordonnateur du projet présidentiel pour la reconstruction du Nozo et l'ambassadeur de France, Christophe Guilliou, au sujet des 40 milliards de francs CFA promis par la France. Toutefois, le pays de Macron a beaucoup d'intérêt à protéger avec plus de 200 entreprises françaises basées au Cameroun. Par ailleurs, il est important de souligner que même sur le volet sportif, il y a rupture avec notamment l'équipementier corps sportif et la Fédération camerounaise de football. Certainement, la présence de l'ancien entraîneur des Lions indomptables Claude Leroy avec une visite de Macron chez le franco-camerounais Yannick Noah laisse la salive dans la bouche. Suivez mon regard. Pour l'heure, restons à mode observatoire, car l'avenir nous en dira plus.
The 35th extraordinary session of the National Communication Council have been held in the city of Yaoundé on the 28th of July 2022. This was to examine several complaints addressed to the NCC, amongst others. Nicole Tako tells us more.
The 31st extraordinary session of the National Communication Council was held in Yaoundé on the 28th of July 2022. The agenda of the day was focused on various subjects, including the examination of several complaints addressed to the CNC. The NCC President, Joseph Chebonkeng, throws more light on the decisions that were taken.
The practice of pompous headlines on front pages, which are not commensurate with the content of the newspapers in question. Some media professionals go to the extent of mentioning information obtained from intelligence services of the country, even as the missions of these services are not statutorily intended to provide the media with information.
After examining the misconduct from different media organs, the CNC decided to give suspension to 10 media houses.
Softer measures with regard to the employees in question. In this connection, the Council, in its policy to implement a preliminary educational approach, has cautioned 10 different media organs.
It should be noted that these media organs which were suspended had been warned against disseminating compromising information against individuals or Republican institutions.
The senior divisional officer for the Diamare division of the North region, of the far north region of the country, has addressed the insecurity in his division. This was during a tour to different communities in the 9 subdivisions in this division. As My Media Prime News Desk compiles to us the following report.
The senior divisional officer for the Diamare division in the far north region of the country, Jean-Marc Ekwambaga, have embarked on a security tour in the different communities of the 9 subdivisions. He discussed on the security situation with administrative and religious authorities.
Les populations, j'ai mesuré la dimension de leurs difficultés, de leurs problèmes.
I met and measured the dimensions of different problems faced by the population. Do you know that they mask themselves because they know you will identify them? Some of them are in complicity with some elites amongst you. They are your children and you have neglected it.
Toi, tu peux les reconnaître comme ce n'est pas l'enfant de tel là.
It should be recalled that
Theft, kidnapping for ransom, aggression and other criminal acts have been on a rise in the Diamare division. Quarterheads and business persons are the main targets of the masked armed men in the far north region. There is a small village called Palokane. They recently attacked the quarterhead of the locality and asked for money, and because he did not have money, they took away his bike. As a strategy to address this rising insecurity, Jean-Marc Ekwambaga ordered the divisional officers to revive the population and multiply vigilante groups to work together with the forces of law and order in order to curb this insecurity.
Demander à tous les leaders d'opinion et les comités de vigilance.
I have asked the vigilante groups to be very cautious in this struggle.
De se mettre en ordre de bataille.
Locals have pledged the creation of vigilante groups in the interior areas of the communities from authorities who have promised to fulfill their pledge.
Parlons à présent de la lutte contre la traite des êtres humains en vue de valoriser les droits de l'homme et mettre fin à ce fléau. C'est avec Céleste Mengueux, stagiaire.
À l'occasion de la journée mondiale de la lutte contre la traite des personnes dédiée en 2013 par une Assemblée des Nations, l'Afrique lance le 30 juillet 2022 un message fort de mobilisation soutenu par différentes personnalités afin d'accompagner les États de la région dans la lutte contre ce fléau qui affecte tous les pays du monde. En effet, cette forme d'esclavage moderne est un affront à la dignité humaine car elle est souvent associée à des actes de terreur psychologique et de violence physique. La traite des êtres humains englobe des questions liées aux droits de l'homme, la lutte contre la criminalité, la discrimination, la migration et bien d'autres. Les organisations se chargent de faire appliquer la loi pour éradiquer ce fléau qui est de maintenir la protection des droits des victimes, notamment assistance et indemnisation, la poursuite et enquête avec les organisations internationales chargées de l'application de la loi et surtout sensibiliser et lutter contre les causes profondes. En somme, cette journée de la lutte contre la traite des êtres humains est à l'occasion de rappeler l'étendue de ce fléau et de le mobiliser, car la résolution déclare qu'une telle journée est indispensable pour faire connaître la situation des victimes de la traite humaine, de promouvoir et protéger leurs droits.
Audit interne au ministère de la Santé publique pour le renforcement des capacités du personnel, c'était hier à Yaoundé. Jean-Paul Kébin dans ce reportage.
Il était temps, voire même nécessaire, de mettre à niveau les structures en charge du contrôle et de l'audit interne pour maximiser l'efficacité et la bonne gestion des techniques de vérification. Un séminaire de renforcement qui vient à point nommé.
Il faut dire que ça a été une formation qui s'est très bien déroulée avec des formateurs qualifiés de haut rang qui nous ont permis de pouvoir acquérir toutes les connaissances nécessaires en termes de planification, en termes d'exécution, en termes de supervision et de rédaction d'un rapport d'audit. Nous pouvons dire aujourd'hui que les inspections générales du ministère de la Santé publique sont totalement aguerries pour pouvoir mener à bien l'audit interne au sein de ce département ministériel.
Le docteur Manaouda Malachi, patron du département ministériel, en épousant l'idée, il était réellement question de permettre, à travers ce séminaire, d'assurer la mise à jour de la méthodologie et des techniques de vérification.
Nous avons pris ces 5 jours avec toutes les 3 inspections générales, leurs collaborateurs, pour pouvoir capaciter davantage les CO responsables. Et nous en sommes sortis aujourd'hui avec beaucoup de satisfaction parce qu'en réalité, ça s'est beaucoup discuté. Les participants ont été assez déterminés à apprendre, à discuter avec les facilitateurs. Et donc, je pense que ça a quelque chose d'assez important. Et ils ont demandé, n'est-ce pas, à ce que ce genre d'exercice puisse être régulier pour leur permettre vraiment d'apporter leur contribution à l'avancement, n'est-ce pas, des politiques publiques au niveau du ministère de la Santé.
Le ministre de la Santé publique, dans sa vision au niveau du contrôle et de l'audit interne, compte à coup sûr viabiliser et conforter son système pour une mise à jour.
And now Treasury staffs of the Southwest region as well as businessmen have been drilled on measures for anti-corruption for a better Cameroon. This was during a one-day working session organized in Limbe last Thursday, 28, 2022. Joy Ngong has details. The government of Cameroon, through the Southwest Treasury Department, has launched a new drive aimed at taking measures that will go a long way to enhance the fight against corruption and make Cameroon a more business-friendly country. This was the main focus of a one-day capacity-building workshop that took place in Limbe on Thursday, July 28, under the theme Mitigating and Mastering the Manifestation of Corruption and Related Offences and Anti-Corruption Techniques in the Treasury. The training workshop was opened by the Southwest Paymaster General, Mr. Angula Ananias, who said this was the very first of the workshops in the country to be organized by the Directorate General of the Treasury, Financial and Money Corporation in the Ministry of Finance.
I pay through bank transfer, and it's the main mode of payment now, because we are trying to limit the contact between the contractor, yes, and the treasury workers. Thank you.
The workshop was presided at by the representative of the Directorate General of the Treasury, Mr. Patrick Tabali, who stated that the drive of the Directorate General was to henceforth ensure that their services to the public are as transparent as possible, such as to build trust and confidence.
Working with those that of the private sector that come to the Treasury, that either come to propose corruption or corrupt Treasury officers, or come under face with conditions given to them to render service. On the table, we'll talk about it, and some of these issues we think we'll trash them and see how, first of all, through education, through exchange, through institutional reorganization, like what I just told you, a toll-free line. Some of these practices could be curbed. How a code of ethics, which is already instituted at the level of the Treasury, will be divulgated to personnel and users to make them know that henceforth we are going to another phase, because there's a law henceforth on transparency and good governance.
The workshop participants were made up of staff of the Treasury Department in the Southwest, members of the business class, among them contractors and municipal treasurers of the city councils of the region. Participants were treated to 3 different presentations that were centered on the legal and institutional frameworks that the government of Cameroon has put in place since 1998 in order to bring corruption to its barest minimum in Cameroon, corruption and related offences, as well as ways to fight corruption within the private sector. The workshop ended with some 6 major recommendations which the participants were of the opinion that, if implemented, will go a long way to significantly reduce corruption in Cameroon. Cameroon in the days ahead will see a boost in her agricultural products. This follows the graduation of 97 students or senior agricultural technicians from the Regional College of Agriculture in Bambili, northwest region of the country. Fonquinta has details.
Engaging youth in agriculture has been a prominent topic recently, as there is growing concern that young people are shying away from the field often described by them as a tedious vocation that is meant for the old and those who have failed to achieve academically. Some youth are, however, changing this narrative. Evidence is the graduation of 97 senior agricultural technicians and technicians from the Regional College of Agriculture Bambili, northwest region of Cameroon.
The number of youths are rarely running from the profession. But for the 97 candidates, both for the senior technician and agricultural technician, we are very much convinced, because our training is based on capacity and skills acquisition. And for us to see or attest these students, graduating these students today, is to testify that they have acquired actual competence. With the current security problems in our nation, particularly that of the Northwest region, we believe that this youth, 97 youth, is going to add to the workforce of the Republic in order to combat such a situation.
For 2 years, these students have been endowed with maximum skills in growing of numerous cash crops, soil testing, manure composition, animal and fish rearing, all skills necessary for them to champion innovative scientific procedures in the agricultural sector.
As I've graduated today, I am able to use those skills all in the field with the knowledge I have and with the small individual practical that I've been doing. I've done a lot on my own to before attaching the one that was still so at my part, I've been working since the Hoto Baby in cabbage. The Hoto Baby has paid me a lot in this 2 years. With the money I've realized from there, I have around 140,000 just from Hoto Baby. So with those things now, I will gather everything now, and then I will be able to start up something that can help myself.
The ceremony, July 29, at the conference hall of the Bamenda One Council, chaired by George Basilican Secretary General at the Northwest Governor's Office, ended with the award of prizes to meritorious students and traditional dance performance.
C'est la fin de ce journal bilingue sur My Media Prime Télévision. Mesdames, Messieurs, bonsoir. Bonsoir, Cynthia, Azanu.
Good evening, Gwladys, Bomotonguina. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for staying with us throughout this news edition, receiving technical assistance from Ewane and coordinated by Lasha Kingsley. I have been Cynthia Azanu. See you tomorrow. Good night.
Welcome to a new world of TV broadcasting. My Major